are joined by the Hunna, so thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
What's been happening? Where have you been? What have you been up to?
Here, there and everywhere recently. Lots of festivals, obviously, as it's summer. Busiest yet. We just played 2 shows in Vienna and Bologna.
Bologna.
Do you know, Bologna is my favourite Italian city.
Well, it's the first time that we've ever been. And it was the day before yesterday. And yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. The reaction of the crowd was amazing. And we were first, there was only 2 bands, it was us and Greta Van Fleet. And yeah, we made a lot of new fans, and yeah, we had one of the best gigs we've ever played there, I think. Yeah.
Do you know what I absolutely love about you guys is, like, when I seen you at the Barrowlands a couple of months ago in April, because we're talking about it, and it seems like over the past year or so you've had such a hard time, but you've come back fighting and you've absolutely smashed it and done so much.
Yeah. Never give up, never surrender.
Never.
I suppose that is now behind you, and we now look forward to seeing what's next.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, we're just doing what we do. We've come through a lot, and yeah, we're excited for Chapter 3, 3rd album, and just touring more. And Reading and Leeds coming up today, obviously, is a big show for us. We sold out King Tut's probably around 3 years ago now. So to come and headline that stage is an honour. We love Glasgow. It's always lit here, and we're going to bring the heat, baby.
I do feel like Glasgow's almost like a second home for you guys.
It really is.
It's like obviously London for us because it is kind of home, and then Manchester and Glasgow are always the ones that sell out first. And every time we come, the crowd are just incredible. Sing every word.
Yeah.
So yeah, every time we get to play Glasgow, we're very happy.
Brilliant. I don't know if you guys will know this person, but I done a bit for the podcast earlier with a fighter called Chris Bungard. But
I've seen him on Twitter. He's a fan of the band.
Yeah,
right? He's
and
got the big bit.
Yeah, so his best friend is in the UFC and he's called Paul Craig, and he goes to all your shows. He absolutely loves you.
Have we met him maybe?
I was sending you on Twitter. He reached out and he was like, and he comes to the shows and he's like, he stands at the back and he's like, he looks like that guy from what was that show? You know, the Wolf dude. Yeah, Gladiator.
So when I was talking to him earlier, he was like, please say to the Hunna that Paul Craig's a massive fan, and he absolutely buzzes off him.
Oh shit! Well, Paul, thank you so much, man. We've got to get him in the video.
Yeah, dude.
That'd be awesome. Get him in the ring.
I reckon that he could maybe have a brawl with you guys in one of your videos.
Well, I mean, he can be secure if he wants.
So what have you guys got coming up? What other festivals is happening when you're back in Glasgow after this?
We are, so we got lots of festivals. Next week we've got Benicassim Festival, Wharton Music Festival, Dyke Brand Festival. Then we've got Mainstage Reading and Leeds, we've got Boardmasters, we've got Humber Street Fest.
Why not as well?
Why not?
Yeah.
We've got, we're actually releasing our first new single.
Brilliant. Good.
Which is very exciting because we've been wanting to do that for ages, but because of all the shit that we've been through, we had to hold off for a little bit. So now we're finally free. We can let loose to the world and let everyone see what we've been working on. So that's big for us. And then we go to America, and then
I see you announced that the other day. It must be a good buzz to get back on the day.
Oh man, so good. Yeah.
Good friend Barnes Courtney.
Yeah. So we go back over there, and then we record the 3rd album over there. And then next year we release the album, we start a world tour, so we'll be the UK, Europe, everywhere. Yeah, so we'll be back in Glasgow a lot.
Nice one. What can people expect from your set tonight? What are we hoping for?
Heat, baby.
High energy. Yeah. As usual, you know, we get a jam-packed performance. Got 2 new songs, so keep an eye out for that. Keep your ears open, and just get ready, man.
Nostalgia from, I mean, a lot of people that come would have either been at the King Tut's show or the Barrowlands show like yourself, and I think, especially for us as well, coming back and playing King Tut's stage is amazing for us, and we're just excited. I think we're going to have a bit of nostalgia on stage as well, thinking back to kind of when we first started, because those gigs really shaped us as well. You know, we were still getting used to touring and being on stage ourselves and playing the songs, so when you have fans and crowds like in Glasgow and Manchester and stuff, it really, helps you and spurs you on.
And I'm fully expecting you to be in the crowd tonight as well.
You can fully expect that.
Guys, thanks so much for your time and have a great set. Really appreciate it. Cheers. Day 2 of TRNSMT Festival. We had a great day yesterday and just arrived and bumped into the bad guy, Chris Bungard.
I was just doing normal things, just sitting about, like nothing mischievous, so we're all good, man. What's happening?
I just want to point out that he's in the VIP section. Big time.
I didn't know that. An extra 40 quid, man, just to fucking act like a celebrity. Fuck it, man, not me.
Are you looking forward to seeing the day?
I'm in to see the Snots nice and early. I used to do the door in the club they used to play in Faltus, called the Cricket. So I'm in to see them, good Scottish band. DMA is Richard Ashcroft, and I'm out of here.
No hanging about for catfish?
Oh man, I'm no below 15.
I thought you'd have your eye on some of the wee birds that are here, Christie boy.
Come on, you get jailed, man, looking at half of these.
I did
I
actually.
ID'd them as if I'm on the door again.
I did feel very old yesterday.
I thought most of them would have went yesterday and no showed up today, but they must not get hangovers at this age, you know what I mean? Like a 4-day hangovers like myself.
So it's early bells of now and you're seeming pretty sober, but is it going to remain that way?
What time's it, man? What time's it? I don't know, I've been on with you about 9 o'clock this morning. What time's it now? We're here all night anyway, so fuck it. I'm here with my mate, DJ Dobbin, wee Burno and McNabb, so...
Holly Town Zoe shouting.
We're here all day, man. It's going to be good, man. Hopefully these clouds go away and the sun comes out and have a good time, that way.
Thanks for your time, enjoy your day.
Cheers, man.
Walking about backstage and we bumped into McAvoy in the VIP area. I wish a legend here.
Right, mate.
What's
happening? How you doing?
Are you looking forward to seeing the day?
What's that? Jerry. That's about it, Jerry.
That's that was, but you're here there.
That band Cassi, we're alright.
Good. Here for the weekend?
Aye, full weekend.
Good. When's your next gig?
What's that we use?
In case nobody knows, Kai also plays.
We'll edit that out. We'll carry.
No, you can say whatever you want. In case you don't know, Kai also plays solo.
Aye.
There's acoustic stuff, his own stuff, some covers.
Aye, it's mainly that. I like just playing guitar, man. Just me, acoustic. Also, I love a band in that, but playing the guitar's brilliant.
Nice one. Now, we were very lucky to play with him with the La Fontaines in the Civic Centre, and it was a good wee night.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was first time I proper met yous, wasn't it? Aye, that was a good night. Aye. Good.
So, what would you say to anybody that is watching, that wants to check you out? What would you sound like? Where can they hear you?
You hear me on SoundCloud at the moment, but there should be a good few stuff coming out on Spotify soon, and I mean all the rest, Apple Music and Deezer and all that. But hopefully soon enough you'll hear it everywhere, and it'll be massive.
Going to be the next TRSNMT?
Hopefully, I mean that's what everybody hopes, isn't it?
Right, you heard it here, Kai McAvoy, next TRSNMT. And I want to apologise to everybody for drinking Carlsberg, but it was free. So that sums me up, right? Cheers. We're joined now by Edinburgh's finest retro video club, just off the King Tut stage there. How was it?
Magic, mate. Good, mate. Good. Really good. It was probably better than we could have hoped for it to be, yeah. So, it was good. Smash it.
It's funny because you guys were on 1:30, quite early in the day, but what a crowd.
I know.
What a crowd.
It fills you with sort of, I don't know, it sort of validates that folk are actually interested in you, because I think with festival crowds, people can come and there'll be thousands of folk in anyway.
Yep.
But when you're on early doors, you see, right, they've actually came to see us. You know what I mean? So it was good.
You're spot on, because if you walk by that main stage at any point, people will be sitting there anyway. Whereas King Tut stage, a wee bit out the road, and it was mobbed. It was
good, like a good reaction. As Liam said, I don't think we were expecting it to go that well, so it's a plus.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I did say you boys are Edinburgh's finest of Edinburgh, but Glasgow's almost like a home gig for you as well, isn't it?
Well, I was kind of getting that way, We're about to do St Luke's in September, and that's basically Liquid Room's size, that's a big old cap, so if we can do that, then we're on to a winner in Glasgow. And Glasgow's always been dead good to us, ever since like the first gig. It's always just been really responsive, and the crowds have kind of been like that anyway, so we're quite lucky in that sense, you know what I mean?
I love how you say if we can do that, you know he's not going to do it.
When we do that.
Aye, exactly.
Get what's funny,
we're optimistic, but we're not publicly optimistic.
I
so
normally would say when we do it. There you go.
When is it?
28th of September.
Nice one.
Aye, only a couple of months, I know.
Pre-sale Wednesday.
Pre-sale Wednesday, general sale Friday.
Is this like is this an exclusive?
Technically.
And if you look at the posters,
If you look at the posters around,
Oh, right,
there's posters,
Some big
but
posters about
Saturday night?
Saturday night.
We're announcing it like on socials and that tomorrow, so
Nice.
Tomorrow morning.
Um,
Depends when the podcast goes up, but
Oh mate, we're not that sharp. It won't be
aye,
tomorrow
there you
morning.
go,
That's
right.
so
Aye, well,
we announced it a few days ago.
A few days ago we announced it. Aye, so the morning I'll
What else have you got coming up then? The new single was just last week.
Aye, the new single.
it's gone down a treat, to be honest.
Aye.
We were saying we've played it live a couple of times on tour when we were out with Barnes and the Hunna, but we've never actually played it live when folk would know the words, because obviously this is our first gig since releasing it, and it was great to see people singing it back to us, because that's what that song was written for people to sing back. And
it is a song that it's catchy and people will chant it back to you.
Totally, aye. It's funny, I mind like we've had it since, I can't bloody mind when I wrote it, but it was probably like November or something, early December, because we were on tour. We were actually on tour in Europe, and I was like, I've got this idea for a song and that. And then when we came back, and then it was wrote, and then we were like, we sort of need a bit of a slower song in the set, just something a wee bit different, something in the same ballpark, but maybe just playing for another team, Ken. And we just, Ken, we needed something like that. And I said at the time, I was like, Ken, I says, like, picture the scene, Ken, festival, whatever, everyone singing. I didn't need to sing it, everyone else sing it and that. And then fortunately,
And it happened, didn't it?
aye, it's kind of been like that, aye. So nice.
I'm going to come back this interview to see how many times you say Ken.
That's
Edinburgh coming out there. I love it, I think it's class.
It's Edinburgh, and it's another one,
Hey.
I'm feeling all the stereotypes here.
You've been going around Europe, and I suppose people might think, what are they boys talking about? Is that Scottish accent?
Totally.
There's
Well,
a
that's
few
a running joke when we were
belters,
in
aye.
Europe, we would say stuff and we'd go, you don't have a clue what we're saying, would they? And they would all laugh,
Folk
so
would just go, aye.
they would laugh, so it'd be like, well, they must have heard something.
What was weird though is some people thought that we were
English.
German and that.
they actually had better English accents than us.
Like they were like, oh, I can understand you fine. I'm like, what? Are you joking? Like,
But then they go, oh, I spent a month in Edinburgh and stuff, and you realise, oh, it's just us that are not cultured. They're all fine. It's just us that don't go anywhere.
And what about the German crowds, man?
Mad.
mental, man.
Germany was the best, I think, on that whole tour.
Well, a few goodies. We played. Was it Cologne?
Munich was good. Munich
Was good, and Cologne was really good.
receptive crowd, like they were standing watching.
Aye,
Even the venues, the rider was amazing in Germany. Like
Yeah.
the food.
Take the Scots anywhere, they just want the free food and
mate.
drink.
Honestly,
And then the beer, it wasn't just your usual.
You got a
It was
proper
great stuff.
three-course meal.
Like pudding.
A lot
Even
of
got
places
pudding.
and stuff, eh? And it was just a...
What was the pudding?
Before you drummed, a pudding. Great. I love it.
we were blown away. And the thing is as well, I think the UK is a bit snobby. Do you know what I mean? Like
Standoffish. They
kinda,
don't
aye,
want to let their hair down.
They didn't want to
You
be.
have to win them over.
Aye, they're almost like, I don't know if I want to be won over. Whereas when you go to these places, they're willing to give you a chance in that. You know what I mean?
And after the shows and that, they'll come up and, oh, thank you so much for coming to
Oh,
play to us. And you're like,
honestly,
no, thank you for
brilliant.
coming to watch
The
it.
thing is, as
loved
well,
it,
for every show, the whole crowd was there just after doors. Like there was big queues at the start. Whereas here, a lot of folk, you just wouldn't come till the main band. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. But in Europe, it was different.
Aye,
It was
Everyone
great.
was there for
Loved
the
it.
doors every
They're
day.
absolutely mental for their music, especially bands for like Britain and that. You know what I mean?
We spoke to the Hunna yesterday, and lovely guys, eh?
Oh,
really
honestly, absolute sweethearts. We were.
Could have picked a better band for us to support.
No.
They were just.
And to be honest, that was our first like major kind of tour.
UK
Like, I mean, that was all O2 Academies. And
Big venues.
big,
aren't
I
they?
mean, Brixton. You know what I mean? That's 5,000. That's mental. But so we were a wee bit, not nervous, but we were a bit tentative in that. And they were just so nice. They couldn't have been nicer, genuinely. They were out filming the set every night and that. It was brilliant.
The Barrowlands. You played the Barrowlands. I was at that gig. It was my wee sister's birthday, and I took her along. And what the hell, you smashed it?
Big tick off the bucket list, that one.
Barrows was good.
That was like, we've never played Barrows before, and as a Scottish band, all you want to do is play Barrows.
The thing is, as well, the strange thing about it was the show was sold out before we announced it. So it wasn't like we couldn't bring our own fans there or whatnot.
But I'm a bit ashamed about that because you want all your pals to come along.
So we were quite surprised when we played the show and everyone was still singing back the words. So
Like, oh, look, mum, we'll try and get
We'll
you in.
try and get you in, but
It was that, eh? It was like,
I was speaking to one of your mums.
Probably, man.
Aye, like I'd done ligaments in my knee, boring, right, off topic, and I was sitting up the back and like kind of wee disabled bit, and one of your mums was there.
Definitely, mate.
Sam's
Being there with my brother,
Aye, and you could see the pride in her face. It was like,
it was a good day. The problem is though, it's a poison chalice a wee bit, because you go and you're like, oh, magic, and then you come off and you go, I just want that to be our show. You know what I mean? Like,
you get that taste for it, and you're thinking.
The good thing about the Hunna shows as well, Glasgow was one of them, but Newcastle as well. You came off stage and it actually felt like it was your own show, because the crowd were just unbelievable. Honestly, like
it was full, right? So we were on half an hour after doors, which is pretty good for a tour like that. Normally, like it's 15-20 minutes. Half an hour after doors we were on, and it was a full academy, right? And we started playing, and it was like that. Like the day, it was
bouncing about.
mental. I'm looking at them going, Ken, what's going on here? It felt like a headline show.
As close to home as we went on that tour.
I suppose, aye.
I think you learn a lot from the bands as well on these tours. So you see them play their headline show.
I've got a wireless guitar now.
Big time as fuck. So he's hanging around today. Who are you going to see?
We'll probably try and see a bit of everyone.
Yeah. We're going to see. We're going to hear Wombats now. Oh, sorry, boys.
Is that Wombats or the Cook?
That's Wombats.
Is it? Wombats.
But you're not going to see them, we'll wrap it up quickly. So
we'll just go and see a bit of everyone. I've never seen Capaldi,
No.
I've never seen him live.
I think he's going to get the biggest crowd.
I
actually feel sorry for George Ezra going on after him, because this is like his homecoming almost, isn't it? It's like the King of Glasgow.
Kinda,
that'll be good though. The whole day will be good.
That will just.
And you've smashed it, so you can let your hair down a wee bit.
Well, I can try. We had a wee blip the first song. What happened?
But only you noticed that.
I don't know.
Listen, basically, I wasn't getting the click in my ear.
So I was drumming to the click,
and I had no drums, so I couldn't hear him either. And I'm like,
so he started the chorus, and I'm like, I'm still in the verse here, but I mean, it's a race from history.
You noticed that.
It's a race from the history books. So
and we got over it quick.
A race to the history books, forgotten.
You just brought it up. He's waiting about it.
I'm all right now. Fine, listen, I'm fine now. I'm vindicated.
We smashed from there, so the set went. It was good.
Boys, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on smashing the King.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
I will do, aye. TRNSMT Day 3, we spoke to a lot of bands, but now we're got a couple of football players here. Who's laughing at? Is that not your job?
Tried it.
Charlie, Telfer and Ryan Christie, how you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Very good. Are you looking forward to seeing the day?
I think we've come for Lewis Capaldi overall. And George Ezra as well.
I think everybody here is to see Lewis Capaldi. It's like, you seen it when it was announced, like Snow Patrol on the point, and nobody was gutted at all. It was like, once they announced Capaldi, it was like buzzing for that.
Were you here? Have you been here the holidays?
We've been here all weekend, so it's been great. We've been talking to a few different bands, and we spoke to Ferry earlier on.
Did you?
Aye. My mate Gordon that does the Clyde phone in, we spoke to him with George Bowie on yesterday as well, so it's been
decent.
It's been class.
Good weekend, aye.
So what do football players do when it's not the football season then? What have you been up to over the summer?
Went on holiday with a couple of my mates, and then obviously with my girlfriend, but apart from that,
not much?
Not much, just chilling.
I'm the same, I was away, a few pals, and then away with my girlfriend as well, so obviously before the season I was injured, so I've had time off for ages, so I was actually one of the few looking to actually get back into football, but pre-season's not been great, is it?
Nah, horrible.
Who's the better player out of the two of you?
What, me?
That's a good question.
Talk to us about your...
It's all about hunger.
It's desire, mate, it's desire. What about your Scotland call-ups, Ryan? That must have been a bit of a buzz for you.
It was good, it was really good. I was actually frustrated, obviously, to miss the one in the summer, just because, obviously, it was a new gaffer and stuff, but I had to miss out because of injury. I was frustrated, but hopefully this season I can kind of kick on again, hopefully get back in the picture, that'd be nice.
Totally, and I suppose you're happy with the appointment of the manager?
Yeah, definitely. I think Steve Clarke at Kilmarnock, I think he kind of speaks for himself how well he did, and probably one of the toughest teams we were playing against last season. So fair play to him. The job he did at Kilmarnock, I think it was the only kind of real appointment that was going to get the fans excited again.
Totally. Mr. Telfer, hard season last season for Falkirk. I'm guessing you're going to bounce back and get back into Championship.
Yeah, I think so. I hope that's the aim at a minimum. So yeah, hopefully have a good season and can have it wrapped up
and look forward to the season after that and have a push in the championship again.
Nice one. Let's stop talking about football and let you guys enjoy the festival.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much for your time. Cheers. We are joined by the Dunts after they've just absolutely smashed the King Tut stage.
Thank you very much, mate. We are very buzzing about that, man. Can't describe it.
Actually, I came in here and you were absolutely buzzing. He starts in, he's like, it was alright.
This is like every day for me. I'm just used to this stuff by now, do you know what I mean? Being famous and that. Can't even leave my house anymore without getting accosted by thousands of fans everywhere. So I'm used to it.
How many selfies you had today?
About 300 million at the very least.
Zero.
You know how many people want a selfie with the bass player for the Dunts?
What do you make of this vape that we've got here?
Class, mate. It's one of the weird like two-way vapes, so the two you can get on it, man. It's like Lady in the Tramp. You can just go like. It's class, mate. I love it.
It's a nice wee thing.
Where it's like a guy trying to get into a club, so the guy breathalyses him, but it's just his walkie-talkie.
Get any idea, mate?
No. Sorry, mate.
I was asking the boys where their tonic wine was, but I believe that you're on a budget.
Yeah, we actually get searched on the way in here, and I had like a half bottle of Voodoo and like 4 cans of EJ in my bag, and I seen the guy searching them, and I was like, right, yous can get searched. I'm gonna walk away up here and no get searched, so I don't get all this bevy taken off me. That's worth about 15 quid altogether. It was like 6 quid. It was like Tesco's own fucking vodka.
That's not me, man. I'm fucking skin to it, man. Basically, as soon as we get into the press part, I says to him, I was like, where's all the free bevy? And dive straight into the tent and grab one. It's just one of the days. You may as well take advantage of the free bevy rather than try and spend your own money. You know?
Do you know what's interesting, right? Because we've spoke to Annersley folk and it's like you can clearly tell they're tiptoeing about the free bevy. Absolutely not.
I mean, I just don't have the money to not be fucking in about it, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, it's only Carlsberg, but I'll absolutely take anything free that's gone, and I'm not ashamed at all. I will take anything that's gone as long as it's above 10%. I mean, beer doesn't
10% Carlsberg there, mate, aye?
Hey, I say that because they gave us like this vodka cordial backstage. It was like 23%. It tasted like Pimm's a wee bit. It was
never tried
it. It was very easily
It's like
drinkable.
very weak diluting juice with fucking ethanol in it.
But it was a sparkling water as well. It was very easily drinkable and it was free. So that's all that matters.
What I want to know is why is such a famous person sneaking booze into a festival?
Well, as it turns out, right? As it turns out, see when you're, I'm so famous, right, that the guards don't even recognise me, so they think I'm a punter. That's why I still need to sneak the booze in. So what I done was I put a wig on, put the glasses on, wore a completely different outfit, tried to sneak in that way. Because if I try to come in normally, everybody stops me and all that, man. Can't even get normal Ubers anymore because.
Shut up.
He walked in with his bass suit because that's like the perfect camouflage. That when he's got his bass suit, nobody has a fucking clue who he is.
Right, tell us about that set then. Buzzing?
Absolutely buzzing, man. I think the crowd made it. The crowd pushed it to another level, but in terms of what we were doing, it went pretty much perfectly on terms on our end.
I was terrified until I realised that no matter what we'd done there, the crowd was going to be absolutely amazing about it. So like after the first song, and I was like, oh, fucking stiff and all that. As soon as I realised that they were going to bounce about regardless of what we done, that's when I was like, right, let's give them a show.
Intentionally fucking it up just to see if people would still enjoy it, and they'd be like, it's a bit shite actually. Is that the line you're going with? That's how I made so many mistakes.
So was it unintentional then?
Aye, man, aye, all the half and half. It's half and half.
Because there must have been this point, right, before he's come on, he's hitting what to expect here. Like, is this going to be good? Is it going to be?
Like 15 minutes out, I was sitting in the back, kind of like.
I've been having bad dreams for the past 3 months, man. Like horrible dreams in relation to this, and none of them made any sense, but none of them made me feel comfortable. But as soon as we walked on, man, like even the line check, you get your pals and that standing there,
The
they're
sun
waiting.
came out as well.
Sun busted. Look, fucking weather was shite, man. We got here, and as soon as we went on, look, we fucking brought the sun, man.
This guy makes the sunshine.
Look at that, mate. I brought it with me, man. I am the sun.
And the air.
I don't know if that's a song, by the way.
The Smiths, I think it is. How
Mate, that was intentional to see if anybody picked up on it.
The Smiths.
Intentional.
The Smiths are actually, I'm Robert Smith, so the Smiths are actually all my uncles. They just got together and started a band together. That's why they're called the Smiths. Aye, exactly.
And what's your opinion on Morrissey these days?
He's a bit of a walloper, isn't he?
It's weird. He's always been a fucking dick. And how is everybody just realising? Have you never read any of his quotes?
Can we just put this in the Daily Record tomorrow?
Aye.
The Dunts say he's always...
He's a prick!
Like, honestly, if Morrissey ever listens to this, I'll happily fight him. If it comes, like, I'll phone Robert Smith for the Cure, and he can phone.
Double team him.
If Morrissey's got any pals, I doubt he does.
Are you just name dropping folk because you've got the same name?
Aye. I mean,
there's only 2 Rab Smiths.
Aye, well, I'm Rab Smith, Big Robert's Robert Smith. If Morrissey's got any pals, me and Robert will be happy to take you on in a tag team match. Let's do it.
What's next for the Dunts?
Wilkstock, I believe, in August. It's 18th of August, I think. We're playing Friday in Wilkstock. Slaves are playing the same night. We're playing at 10 to 12. This is encyclopedic, by the way. I don't know how I remember this. No, I think Hey, I might be wrong. It's either... I'm wrong. Right, so Cabaret Vert in France, it's in Charleville. We are playing there on the 24th of August. Then if I'm wrong, it must be the 28th that we're playing Wilkstock. Very excited about that. Then the month after that, we're off to Paris. Then we've got the Scottish tour. And then topped off in December with the garage date that we're going to announce on Monday. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few extra things sprinkled in between. So,
you know, I wanted to ask you about this because I spoke to Chris Limbs at Books for Tuts on the podcast last week, and he was talking
I've
about.
seen that.
He was talking about what they were doing at the Priory and how you guys are almost like front and focus of that. Do you know what I mean? There must be a lot of bands that are playing the Priory and thinking, we want to be as good as your man for the Dunts. I want to be recognised when I walk into this.
Fucking road to go. I don't know if you know this, man, but I came out playing a bass, right? I can't remember a point in my life where I didn't have a bass guitar in my hands. So if you want to be as good as me, you're going to have to spend a lot of time like honing that craft. That thing is like an extension of me, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel the bass.
He's a groovy guy, man. He feels the groove. What I would say about bands though, it's a really good atmosphere, and bands that are coming up, there's a lot of support, and that's the way we felt when we started, and we try and pass it on as much as we can, because at the end of the day, when we started, we were at networking, do you know what I mean? We were at hassling bands, hassling people like Johnny. Like, that's what you do, and then it does that with us. We understand that they're all trying to just, as long as they work hard and do well, man, they'll see dividends from it, man.
It's definitely
there's people
Mr. Priory himself is showing up when we're talking about the Priory.
Do you want to jump in? Do you want to jump in?
Can you come?
No, come on. Grab a seat here. Come on, get in. Johnny boy.
So we're just talking about the Priory, mate, and how it means a lot to all these new bands.
Most important venue in Glasgow, mate.
That is.
Tell us what you have done to make this special.
Just hung about with good cunts and fucking supported them, man. Supported good cunts, nae fannies, good energy, punk music, man. Glasgow's the capital of it. You know, that's. You know what I'm talking about. I don't need to say anything there.
Right, hit us up. Apart from this lot, who's the bands in Glasgow people need to hear?
Take your pick, mate. Honestly, you've got Voodoos, Baby Strange, Snash, Crystal, honestly, Gallus. Honestly, you'll need a longer fucking battery life in that thing, mate, for me to tell you. But the boys have smashed it today.
Cheers, Johnny boy. I was calling him Johnny there. It's bloody jokey. Aye.
I've just like doxed him, but that's big John jokey there.
But just to summarise the point, it's kind of cyclical. You get all these bands, they're looking at us thinking we want to do that, but they just have to understand that was us, and just networking, getting in with the right people, talking, writing good tunes, putting on good gigs, you get there. You get there.
I was going to ask you about good gigs, but you just came and played in Motherwell for me a while ago, and I'm not quite sure if that was a good gig.
There was a guy, just a point about that, right? There was a guy, so they had like a rider, which is basically just a crate of beers for everybody. And instead of having like a fucking bottle opener, the guy was just opening his teeth and he went, "Welcome to Motherwell."
I actually think that was me. In fact, I know for a fact that was me. But if my mom's watching, it was some other guy that done that.
No, mate, that's it.
I literally looked like that scene in Trainspotting 2. It was at the mid-69 pub. I literally walked in, I was like, where the fuck am I?
It went really well, man. It was great. We were kind of lucky we were on May Declan that day, and there was a good few that were pals and they played for. We had Malky Beefy Rascal with me as well, driving for us. So it just kind of felt like a gig away from home, and we'd never been to Motherwell. And we loved doing kind of gigs like Motherwell Command and that, because it always turns out to be amazing.
Would you come back?
Of course,
mate.
So if there's MD in Motherwell, they've described it as Trainspotting 2 and folk opening bottles with their teeth.
All the best bits, but all the best bits. Very positive slant.
We love that kind of shit, but like that's our kind of vibe. So absolutely, Trainspotting 2. Kyle.
And can we just clarify, nobody was singing about hating Catholics?
No.
It's all very
None of
nice.
that. None of that at all.
It's all very progressive.
Aye, none of
Nice
that
one.
shit at all, man.
So let's wrap it up. Who else are you going to watch this weekend?
I don't know what time it is right now, to be honest with you.
Try and catch Fontaines
Liberty
and
Bell is playing
DMAs,
right
and I can
now.
hear Liberty Bell right now, so
can
we're
hear
not
them playing
going
right
to
now.
catch Fontaines.
We can hear them playing right now, so we've kind of caught them in a sense because we can actually hear it.
I want to see Ashcroft, man. It's the only one I'm pure buzzing today. It's one of the bands. I mean, he played on my birthday about a few years ago, and so gutted about missing it. So I'll be there for that, man. Definitely.
DMAs and Crystal, of course, on the Queen Tut stage, and just for a laugh, I really like Catfish and the Bottommen's first album, so if I'm still kicking about, I'll go see them as well.
Nice one. Thanks very much. Let's let these boys go and watch Fontaine's DC. Listen, thanks very much, boys. Much appreciated. Cheers. So we are joined today by Zoe Graham. So thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How are you looking forward to today then? Give us a.
Yeah, I'm very warm, very sweaty. I've been wearing a leather jacket all day, so it's nice to be in the shade. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it and kind of rocking out some sad tunes later on. Yeah, it'll be
Totally.
cool.
And Transmit, so it's the first time they've introduced the Queen Tut stage.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think it's quite a interesting late addition to the bill, but yeah, it's cool. I think it's really important to showcase female artists. I think it's really important to showcase all sorts of artists, no matter what your background and what your gender or whatever. So yeah, the only qualm I'd have is to don't make the poster pink. That's
I
it.
didn't see that.
Yeah,
actually.
poster's pink.
Oh dear. Whoever made that decision at DF, we are coming after you.
Yeah, so we are. But yeah, no, it's great. It's a great stage, and it's really nice to be a part of it and to close the stage as well, which
That
is
must
really
be an honour, eh?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really cool. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah.
And you've had some amazing shows recently. You were playing with the Proclaimers and Kate Nash.
Yeah. So the Proclaimers shows were really interesting because Melrose, there was like half of the audience had Hibs tops on, and we're
less
really
said
like
about that, the
loud. Well, no comment on football, but yeah, they were like they were so into it and so loud, and Inverness actually kind of just the same really, but yeah, really good shows, and it's nice to stand up at the back of the tent and watching 5,000 people sing 500 miles and
amazing, eh?
kind of know that you've been a part of that and stood on the stage, whether you were on first or second in a 5-act bill. Yeah, it's just an honour to support that institution.
And were you talking to Craig and Charlie? How were they? Were you?
I didn't really meet them. I walked past them backstage in Inverness and nervously did a little hi. But that's the extent of it. And I also saw, well, I can't really tell the difference between each of them, but I saw one of them outside the bathrooms, but I felt like that was a bad place to go and say hello. So I didn't.
That's like one of the drunken stories that you tell your grandkids, isn't it? Like, me and the Proclaimers were in a toilet once.
Yeah.
I'll just draw the line under that right there. So you've got, finishing off here today, what else have you got coming up?
Well, I've got quite a lot of white space in my Google Calendar at the moment, and that's all just set for planning stuff and for doing some other little secret things, maybe music video things, maybe other things that might happen. A lot of planning, a lot of organising, maybe releasing stuff later in the year if all goes to plan and all works out.
Fantastic. And I seen you on the BBC with a friend of this podcast, Carol Can.
Was I? What, today?
No, not today. You were on a tune.
Oh, right.
I forgot about that. I'm always in the telly.
I wondered what you were talking about. Yes.
Never off the BBC.
Yes. that's me on the ball. I know what I've been doing. Yeah, no, that was really good fun. So I played a song of mine called The Anniesland Lights, which is all about the Anniesland Tower, and I got the chance to go in the Anniesland Tower and play it on like the 8th floor, and it was freezing cold, and we had to do like 7-8 takes, and there was a gale force winds coming into that little balcony that we were in, but yeah, it was good, really good fun.
And
really
I thought
good fun.
it was an amazing story. Like, you know, this means so much to me because it's just, I've always seen it from the house I grew up
totally.
in.
So yeah, so you could see it from the house that I grew up in, and also from an ex-partner's house as well. And once we broke up, it was a very good kind of statue to the relationship and how fragile it is, yet so brutalist and all those things.
Is that an inspiration for your music, your ex-partner? Was that?
Yeah, just like big 70s buildings, really. Big big massive buildings. A lot of my songs are about that person, but I'm writing about other things now. We're moving on from that.
Moved on from that.
Yeah, now.
Stronger and better. And
yeah. Got to move on.
Brilliant. So thanks so much for your time today, and I hope your set is absolutely fantastic.
No,
I'm sure
thanks for having me. Cheers.
Chris Beltran, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Having a nice festival so far.
It's been brilliant.
You should be interviewing me, but I'll still have to question.
Totally. Right, for those people who do not know the story behind Belty, give us a wee bit about what you do for DF and why you're here.
I'm a promoter at DF concerts, so it's my job to kind of discover and book acts and help progress their careers and build a following in Scotland. So some of the acts on the festival this weekend are ones
without blowing your trumpet too much, I think that you are the perfect person to do that, because folk might not know, but me and Chris go way back, and when we were younger, we were probably a few years older than you, and we used to come through to your place in Bearsden, and we were all from Motherwell, and we're like, oh my god, it's lovely through here. But even back then, you were trying to record us as a band in your bedroom, and you were so into music that it was like, you knew your future was going to be in the music industry.
I just think it's one of those funny ones where you do, when you're young, you just do what you like to do because you're young and that's what you do, and sometimes you get lucky and that translates into what you end up doing in the future, but it's mad.
We spoke to Chris Limbs also for DF and King Tuts, etc. The other day for the podcast, and we were saying like it must be really, really exciting to see bands that you've worked with for the start playing on big stages, and this weekend that's basically what's happening with you.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like I've been working for the company for about 5 years, and yesterday was the first act I had on the main stage at TRNSMT, and
that's amazing.
It felt like a very mad breakthrough moment for the Stuts. It was less than 2 years ago. They were supporting Lewis Capaldi and King Tuts, and it was the first time I'd ever seen them, and straight away it was just like, we need to work with these guys, it's great. And we've just kind of, even though it's only been 2 years and they're now on the main stage, it feels like we've taken our time and done the right things at the right time, and I think they played to something mad about 17,000 people, and yesterday on the main stage, and like guys, absolutely crazy, like couldn't be more proud of them, like great job by the boys.
We spoke about this yesterday, and it was like the first time we met the Snuts, and they were like, we're going to be huge, we're going to do this, and everything they've said has happened.
Yeah, they're the most focused, driven, they're so sure of what it is that what they want, and they're just not taking any prisoners. Like, they're one of these bands that people would say, oh yeah, we're in the rehearsal room every day.
They genuinely are.
But they actually genuinely are, and Whitburn have their wee lock-up, and if they're not writing tunes or whatever, they're hanging out together. They're a proper little gang, and they're that kind of emotional kind of connection that they all have together when they play. I think that's one of the things that the crowd really feed off of, and why they've managed to gather such a devoted fan base so quickly, is that people kind of see that what they're doing is genuine and authentic, and that they're the band that everybody wishes they were in a band like that, because everybody wishes they had as close connections with people as they do with each other.
100%. It's funny that you say that they're like a gang, because Jack, the singer for the Stuts yesterday, he said on the main stage, he's like, who thought the young team would make it to the big stage?
Exactly.
And I thought, that's very, very true, but at the same time, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're not just a young team, it's like you say, they graft and graft and graft. And
well, they played the King Tut stage last year, and at the time that was booked, it felt like a massive, fist in the air moment for them, that we were like, just the fact that they got booked on a festival, and now they're doing Reading and Leeds, and Kendall Calling,
Mad
and
Cool
all these Mad Cool the other day.
Yeah.
Like, now, like, playing festivals is quite something they're quite starting to get used to, but it's great that all of that started at TRNSMT, and it feels like every time they come back to Scotland and play a festival is another massive moment for them where they step up.
100%, and it's almost like going abroad to all these places. I really want to know if they've got their own case for their bottles of Buckfast that they seem to have at every single gig they play.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm sure if it's anything like in Scotland, I'm sure they'll be freighting them over.
Aye, totally. So Retro Video Club, we caught up with them earlier today, and that's another one of your bands that you played.
Yeah, it was great. Been working with them for about a year and a half, and it's one of these bands that usually with Scottish bands that grows out of Glasgow.
Yep.
The interesting thing with Retro Video Club is that it's grown out of Edinburgh. And actually the mission in the last 18 months has just been trying to translate what they have in Edinburgh out to the rest of the country.
Totally.
And it's working. Like, once again, it's they've got the tunes, they've got the energy, they've got the drive. You can,
The thing that you hit on there, and for me it's the same, because obviously I really enjoy music, playing bands, etc. But the big difference for me between the Snuts and Retro Video Club and every other band that you see coming through and playing all these gigs at Tuts and across Scotland is it's the drive. You know, these guys are focused and they know where they want to be, and it's for them, it doesn't for me seem like a hobby. It's like, we are musicians and we're going to be professional musicians.
They're determined, and I think with streaming and with social media, everybody's got a platform that, you know, whether it's 100 people that are going to come to their shows for the next 10 years or like, nobody has nothing. Everyone's got something that they can build on, and it's just about, all these bands are just so hungry and driven to make their platform as big as it can be. And I think even artists like Jerry on the main stage on Friday, it's like he's the definition of how hard working and how driven and how talented you can be, and where that can take you without the external music industry having to approve you.
Totally. And he's put two fingers up to so many people, and he's done right. He's, you know, he's got there, and it's, as he says again, it's hard work.
Yeah, and I think it's just ultimately the public decide who their heroes are now. It's not something that the suits in London decide. It's you know, it's all of us in the field in Glasgow Green.
Totally. So tell us this: who are the next bands that people should be looking out for?
I'm really
down to the ear, you know, the hot stuff.
I'm very, very, very excited about an artist called Joseph, Joesef.
And he is doing 2 nights at Summer Nights. He sold the
Yeah,
first one out.
yeah. Just incredible kind of grassroots. He's only got 2 tracks out, but a really devoted audience already, and it's not just because he's popular that I'm excited about him. His tunes are next level. He's somewhere between like Tame Impala, Amy Winehouse, with a bit of Paolo mixed in, and
brilliant.
It's just, he's the real deal. And for somebody who he's only played maybe 4 or 5 gigs in his whole career, ever. Never mind, like
Scotland or so.
Never mind ever. So, and for that, he's so ready to take on the rest of the world. It's very, very uncommon to see somebody with so little experience in the live sector to be so fully formed.
And when you see someone,
that's what makes it so exciting.
It's brilliant. So when you see someone like that coming through, what's your approach then? Do you think, right, let's put an arm on his shoulder and point him in the right direction, or do you let him do his own thing? Or
for me, it was just a case of we obviously got the show in, and King Tuts that happened back in March, and just to test the water. That's kind of what Tuts is all about. It's just to see, give people
jump in here.
Hey,
we are joined by another friend of the podcast. Jump down, give us a few words. Jump in.
Hello,
Jamie Keenan.
Beltran. He's a very good boy.
You've been in Venice this weekend.
I have.
Right, go enjoy your weekend. Right.
It's all good.
Cheers. This has been bizarre this weekend. It's like nearly every single person we've had on this in the past has popped up at some point and jumped on here. So
no, it's good. What were we saying?
Joseph.
So Tuts is all kind of the place where we can just put a show on sale, see how it goes, see what the vibe is. And it was before he even had any music out. There's just such a buzz around. I think maybe his tracks are being shared privately online, or I'm still not entirely sure how it happened. But he managed to sell the venue out, and it's just very uncommon. And I think that is what the whole music industry kind of got caught up on, and as well as his amazing tunes.
Totally. Chris Limsuit is you put his track on in the office, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, what is that?"
It's like almost like time froze. You know, it's like they're very rare. It's maybe like once every, 12 months. It's like a track will come in and everyone will like turn around and go, "What's that?"
Do you find yourself digging through a lot of rubbish sometimes, Chris?
No, but I think it's the fact, music. There's so much high quality music.
To be fair, we've not emailed you in a while, so that's probably...
No, it wouldn't be that. But it's we get sent a lot of good music, but there's just something very distinctive about what Joseph does that everyone just kind of like check themselves. But it stands out a little bit from the crowd.
And is that a name for Transmit next year, do you think?
I don't know yet. We'll have to see what the plan is. They might be.
That was a politician answer.
They might have other things on, but no, I think he's great. So fingers crossed he's available.
Nice one. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And
no worries.
I suppose you better get back to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally, yeah.
Nice one. Cheers,
Okay,
Chris. Day 3 here at Transmit, and I am joined by Zoe.
How you doing, guys? Great to see you.
Thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure to be here and to be with you guys.
Totally.
It's great.
Tell us a bit about yourself for those that are listening that maybe haven't heard you as of yet.
So I'm a Americana country alternative singer-songwriter, Australian, Scottish, UK touring artist.
Brilliant. It's a mouthful.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Just got
Yeah,
back
yeah.
from Nashville and just played a few different festivals over there. A few different shows over there, I should say. CMA Festival was one of them, and that was crazy. We're on a UK tour at the moment. Broke from that because Nashville's called, and they're like, "We want you to come over and do this show with us." And I'm like, "Holy smokes!"
That must have been amazing. Eh?
I mean, they had Keith Urban and Chris Stapleton and Carrie Underwood and all these incredible
Oh my
Trisha
goodness.
Yearwood playing, and
That's
I'm
like
like,
the biggest names in the
Randy Travis was in the green room, and Randy Travis is sitting like right next to us. And I'm like,
Speechless.
Really, Randy Travis,
I'm
you know?
hoping you spoke to them.
I did. I
Yeah.
went up to him. I was like, I feel so bad. I feel like such a pest, but I just want to say, you're a legend.
But that's like influence. That's people
I
that,
mean, totally, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But he was really happy about it. And then he wanted to know all about my music and what was happening with me and where I was playing and what I was like. And his wife was so lovely. And just like, the craziest things happen. And then when we got back to pick up the rest of the UK tour, and that Transmit are like, "We want you to come play." I'm like, "Holy smokes, what a year!"
That is amazing, though.
It's just,
Yeah.
I was so humbled by
Totally.
both. It's just been a crazy 12 months.
Was that your first time in Nashville?
That was second time in Nashville, but first time playing CMA Fest and doing all the shows that I did. So I was there. We had Bluebird Cafe. We played Big Machine Distillery, and a bunch of other shows while we was there. Just we just did so many things, a bunch of showcases, and then the CMA Festival itself. And that was just oh man, it was huge. The streets shut down, and people were just like shoulder to shoulder, lined up, getting
amazing.
Oh, it was incredible.
I would
And
love to go
music
to
in
Nashville,
one room to another room, just music just everywhere as you walk down the street, and distinctive. Surprisingly, you'd think it would all blend together, but it's so distinctive. It's
That's
really
amazing.
yeah.
And I mean, I suppose for your genre, that is like the top of the list, isn't it? Like, if you're going to play somewhere, Nashville is the place where you want to be.
Oh, it was really nerve wracking too, because I'll introduce how we've got it here. I've got my brother here, who's my drummer, who's Zed. And then I've got my dad over here, and he's my lead guitarist. And he's kind of like the whole thing. My mum's my manager, and my little brother is kind of like my roadie, come manager, booker, just generally keeps
It's a
me
real
in
family
line.
affair, isn't it?
It
It's a family
is.
affair.
And so bringing that kind of stuff to Nashville, I was a little bit dubious to see how it would go, because it's not played there like that.
Sure.
And I'm on an acoustic, Zed's on a cajon, and Dad's on an electric, so it's quite an eccentric blend of sounds as well. You've got like South American, you've obviously got
Caribbean kind of instrument.
and myself on an acoustic, and you've got an electric out there screaming, and so the blend of sound is really unique, and people are like, and I'm thinking, I don't know how this is going to go, guys.
I'm going to bet it went down a storm, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but when we got there, they were just like all over it, and it was
Brilliant.
so humbling. And we ended up, they didn't want us to leave in the end, and that was like, wow. They're like, why are you living in the UK? Why are you
That's
here?
fantastic.
Don't
Just come
leave.
over
Just,
here.
just come on over. We'll keep you guys.
Would you move? Would you go over there?
No, I tend to think I'd do half-half. If the ultimate lifestyle would be half here, half there, 6 months there, 6 months here, and kind of like balance the two, I think. Because the scene here is so alive, and country music particularly is really on the verge of just kind of like becoming, I think, one of the top genres here at the moment.
It's so broad as well.
It's so broad,
yeah, the whole spectrum is amazing.
And what people like Bob Harris has done with Country to Country and all
Amazing,
them,
yeah.
those festivals.
My mum was at that last year.
Was
Actually,
she?
I dropped her off, and I thought, I wish I was going. It looked
Yeah,
brilliant.
totally, yeah.
And I love how everyone gets decked out in the whole
They
country
do,
gear.
and that passion there, it's there, and it's just skyrocketing here in the UK. And I think, what I'm doing now, as well as over in Nashville, I also got asked to host a TV show to bring the element of Nashville and to bring it to to the UK, and vice versa, bring the UK to Nashville. So it's kind of bridging that gap in a way.
That's fantastic.
And it's really, really cool.
Are you buzzing about it? Are you excited?
I'm stoked about it. You have no idea. So I'm actually going to do some interviews with some people here today if I can, and see if I can pop around and catch a couple of artists. But it's just, I mean, that gap it's tightening every single day. It's getting tighter. You know, you've got people, Keith Urban coming over and Kerry Underwood coming over, doing Long Road Festival and Black Deer and all these crazy and amazing things. And it's on the verge of becoming, I think, huge. It's really
and you're
amazing.
going to hopefully be at the forefront of it.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, it's just.
You do know. You need to be positive. Come on.
I tell you what, 12 months ago, you told me we was doing what we're doing now. Just 12 months ago, I wouldn't have believed you. It's just, it's crazy.
And the family element then, do you guys argue? Do you get on? Like when it comes to the songwriting process and gigs?
Look, honestly, we're bloody human, so you know we all have our days. But at the end of it, we've lived together for over 23 odd years. You know, like when I mean really together. Like we've not really separated. We've all worked together. We've lived together.
And us kids were home taught as well, so that kind of like we grew up on the road. Mum and Dad were teachers and stuff like that. So
we've always lived quite close together.
Yeah, it's been a real. We bounce off each other. We know what works for each other, and we know what doesn't. And we kind of sometimes decide to just poke people.
You know how to rub each other up there.
Exactly. Sometimes you do it deliberately.
Totally.
But no, seriously, it's kind of good. Yeah, you do. You work with each other. And the songwriting side of it, I tend to write all the songs, and then I'll bring it to the guys. I'll be like, here, what do you think of this? And then they'll just start playing stuff to it, and next thing you know, the song's just built.
And would you be honest? Like, would you say, I think you should change this? Or
absolutely. That's the best
or
thing
you're
about
singing
working
too
with
high,
family.
or you know, your voice sounds this, or this is that, or change this a bit because it's, you know.
Zoe's the best writer to work with because she's so adaptable. And she's like it on stage, and I'm not kidding. We can go on stage, and because we've done so much around the campfire, you know, we could have absolute disasters up there, but absolutely cream it out because there's not a problem because we've done so much playing together.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what goes on, it just suddenly turns into this, we just involve the audience then. You know, if something goes wrong, it's like, oh well, this is the way it is.
See, we had a show too where that happened. The sound desk just broke on us, and it was halfway through, and the sound goes up the back, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening." 2 minutes, and he's freaking out, and he's running about trying to get it sorted, and we're like, you know what? Let's just do it acoustic. And so we've just moved the mic out of the way, and just standing there playing. The crowd's like, yeah, you know, they're getting it. It's like that connection.
Well, that's
and
adaptable.
That was perfect.
That's adaptable. You know that.
Here's a weird thing.
And that was here in Glasgow. That one.
Was it?
Yeah, that was in King Tut's.
One of the things that actually happened.
Hopefully the sound guys at King Tut's are not watching this, and we're just.
We actually love the sound guys at King Tut's. The whole crew at King Tut's are amazing. DF concerts are us.
Here's the thing, I mean, with what you just said, is Zoe and Zed, they do a little section where they both play the guitar together. That sort of come about because a guitar string got broke once. And that kind of happened, so Zed just jumped in there and he
like
started just taking the
for
bottom
me,
string.
and it was kind of like
we thought that's really good actually, let's keep that. So now they do it. And so
and so the crowd, they'll be like, oh my god, are they doing one? What? And it's kind of like, it's weird, but it's cool. And he's on the cajon and he's jumping about, he's on it, he's off it, he's running about. Dad's up there with me, we're like jamming out
There's
together.
a lot of energy there, isn't there?
It's cool. We try to put a lot of energy into the show because we like the music for me personally, and for all of us really, we want to inspire people and we want to kind of give a bit of life to people.
And if you can make someone else pick up a guitar
that's
exactly
what it's about.
It's continuing that, you know, generation.
Absolutely.
Because some of Zoe's songs are about are you living to work or working to live, and that's kind of like what I think the motto is all about. It's we get one life.
Yeah.
This is the only chance we get to live this life and make the most of this. And so I think that's what the theme is really. You know, and have a great time. Like little things, you know, that comes out of what we do, which I find really kind of like enchanting. Because for me, enchantment's a wonderful thing. Because of especially with good music. Zed started doing this thing where he started playing the didgeridoo, and then we sort of like had, wow, how are we going to get the didgeridoo? How do we get on the? How do we buy one? How do we get one on the plane? And oh my god.
You know, because it's a big gigantic pipe. How do you put that on a plane? It's enough trouble with the guitar.
And so blow me down. Zed said, oh, I probably could do it without it. I said, how could you do that? And then this happened.
So now he does that on stage.
Yeah, they're playing the didgeridoo from his
That's how it happened. That's exactly how it happened. Hold on now, give us that again. I want to hear that again. Alright.
Who's the real genius here with all this?
I can't do it now.
Hey,
That's impressive,
When he warms up, my God, you think it's a...
It really really
It's a
picks
real
up all the deep
didgeridoo.
sounds, and it's just
That's
great.
amazing.
It's great. So we have one song now. When we went to Nashville, I wrote a song about Nashville and called it Nashville.
Very artistic that
So
was.
artistic.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the beginning of it, we've got him now doing the didgeridoo, and then halfway through it, he has like a didgeridoo solo. People are
Didgeridoo
just
solo,
like,
that's what it is.
but
yeah.
where's the didgeridoo? And people come up at the end, they're like, where was the backing track? Like, no, it's not. And he's like, and he just starts doing it. And
That's
they're like,
amazing, eh? That's class.
how do you do that?
Brilliant.
When we was in the CMA in
it's really
Nashville
cool.
doing that, they, Martin Guitar, they supplied our equipment over there, which was unbelievable
Huge
because they
honour.
only really supplied people like Ed Sheeran and that. And we was amazed they supplied gear for us, and we thought, my God, that was just so humbling. But we got to play their stage every day that week. While I was doing it, Seb was doing the didgeridoo up there. There was these two Aboriginals from Australia that happened to be in the audience, and they heard it, and they come running over, and they're looking, where's the didgeridoo? And they're trying to find it when he showed them.
This is it right here.
Yeah, that's the didgeridoo.
That's
what it is.
That's what it did.
That's it.
They endorsed the didgeridoo. They as Aboriginals, they
Yeah.
endorsed it, and they said, "Oh,
And they're
no,
like,
God,
we
that's
want you to start an Instagram page called the Didgeridoo. We're all gonna make it famous. We're gonna follow you. So
Yeah, done.
he's been called the Didgeridoo now.
So you guys are from Australia, but now you moved to Lanark, is that right?
Now
Yeah,
we're
it's here to Scotland. So we've kind of like in the middle of doing a UK tour at the moment. We've done Bristol, Brighton, Manchester, Cambridge, London. Then we broke because Nashville came calling, so we went and did Nashville. And then we've just got back about 4 weeks ago, didn't we? And then we picked up the rest of the tour. We got to Cambridge. We just did Manchester last night and yesterday and the day before. So this is show 4 of this weekend. So we're kind of like driving and just place to place, and it's the coolest thing.
We feel at home. To be really honest, we feel really at home because our forefathers and mothers came from Scotland and Ireland a long time ago. Yeah, so we kind of like always wanted to see the homelands as such.
And the music scene it's very connected as far as the two cultures go, because Australia is very much rooted off the UK. The bloodline kind of all comes from there, and the music came from there originally too. So it's a lot of Kaylee stuff, it's a lot of folk stuff, it's a lot of country stuff, and that's kind of grown and branched into what we have in Australia now.
Excellent.
And so bringing that here, it's really humbling to see how welcoming it is here, and getting to meet people here, just in Glasgow, for example, where we've done a lot of playing now. And working our way through the scene and getting to meet people and connect with other fellow artists, and the scene here is so alive. It's fantastic. And bringing it to Transmit, my gosh, it's huge. I walked in and saw the big stage. I'm like, oh my god!
Were you thinking that'll be me next year?
No fingers crossed, but my gosh, that'd be amazing. Amazing. I think we need to get more band members for that though.
Yeah, we need
to get a bass player.
But unless
play bass.
Can you? Well, you're right.
Let's do it.
Whether Zed's going to pull something like a bass out of his throat.
That's it.
You never know with Zed.
I mean, we're lucky in a way that we've come from this neck of the woods because there's so much talent in this area.
Yes.
Like we've also we've got European in it as well there in some parts of our lineage as well. But what you've got is definitely Scotland and Ireland are so musically based. And like all our ditties and all the songs and all the stuff in Australia, they kind of all come out of that stuff that originated from here. Like Farewell to Old England Forever and all this sort of stuff. We're Bound for Botany Bay, all those old songs. So when I think back as a kid, I listen to all the old guys I used to know. And since I've been here, I've heard all these old ditties that I thought were just old things that old men sang. And now young guys are singing this stuff.
You know where it comes from, it's really weird and it's wonderful because it's almost like home away from home. In that sense, you feel really connected and really welcomed. It's beautiful.
That's not home
We really
away.
have felt welcomed here, honestly. It's been great.
I'm glad to hear it.
Everyone's been fantastic.
And I mean, people do say the Scottish are a very welcoming country, but it's good to hear from you guys that you have felt that as well.
Totally.
Absolutely.
We played Glasgow, we played Edinburgh now, we've played quite a few places around here. Glasgow's just, oh my God, it's just great to play Glasgow.
We just like,
brilliant.
I love the Glasgow
don't
Region
stop
Choir.
playing 6 hour set, and they're like, keep going. We're like, righto,
Especially when
kind
we're
of
in the
crazy.
streets, like we've gone and played in Buchanan Street, and man, we've had
we
flash
started
crowds
playing
that have
on
just
the
popped
street.
out of nowhere, and they've just been brilliant, haven't they?
Yeah,
and people have turned up with guitars and just started jamming along with us.
Yeah.
Edinburgh too. I mean, Edinburgh's great as well, but I think Glasgow's got that old adage of all that depth.
Yeah.
Where people just love to have a party.
Yeah, there's a bit of grit around it, isn't it?
You've got
It's gritty.
They
And
get
as
a
a
bit
city,
wild,
it's
by the
gritty.
way. I mean, they do get a bit wild in town, but we've seen people come flying through, dive bomb the mic and stuff like that.
We had one guy, I was standing
Blood
there on the
coming down
street and
the
he's got
one.
blood just
Yeah.
dripping off him.
Oh,
And he
wow.
walked right through the middle of the crowd that's formed around us, and I'm like, I've stopped playing and I'm looking and I'm like,
Are you alright, aye?
and everyone's just like, woo, keep going. I'm like, did you not just see the guy that's got blood everywhere and he's like, does it need
People aren't
help?
batting an eyelid.
Like, nah, that's just
Glasgow,
normal.
it's fine, aye.
It's like, wow, you know, and it's a great place. Not for that side of it, but just
There's
as a
blood
culture.
all over people, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Delighted we're here.
It's like Australian rugby. Oh no, but seriously, it feels homely. It's really
reminds
cool.
me a lot of our old Australian pubs down home, you know, a lot
Yes.
like that. Very much like that.
Out through Adelaide and places like that, there's some really rough places too.
You listen to AC/DC, I don't know if you've heard of Jimmy Barnes, but all the old, big groups like AC/DC and all them, they were playing bands, they were playing clubs and gigs and that back in the day, and there was sawdust on the floor, there was bloodbaths out the back in the car parks, there was all kinds of stuff going on. And
Well, they're
Glasgow
still doing the
got
first
that.
couple of songs. Like, it's crazy.
absolutely.
Oh man.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time today, guys, and I'm really looking forward to your set later on.
I look forward to doing it.
Cheers.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks.
See you later.
Hi, Ferry.
What's happening, mate? Alright.
Welcome to Transmit.
Love it. I was here Friday.
Were you? Aye. See
Uh,
Stormzy.
Nah, never seen Stormzy. So me and wee Slaney were up seeing Jerry.
No danger.
Jerry likes open goal, so
we're Motherwell fans, so we wish Paul Slane was still.
Oh, still
still
a mother.
alive, aye.
You wouldn't, because he's fucking hopeless now.
Oh,
But what a man, eh?
Oh,
So
yes, mate.
Jerry invited me and Slaney up, so we were up here Friday. We was in a dressing room and all, mate.
Oh, class.
What a day, man! It was some buzz, and then we were at the side of the stage when he was playing.
Did you with KT? He was for his team
Tierney,
as well.
it was the three of us, and then a couple of Jerry's mates. So
some buzz, aye.
Ah, brilliant, mate.
Aye.
Like, they don't go. Like, Slaney texted me after it saying thanks very much, mate. But Slaney, it was actually Slaney that sorted it with Jerry, but just great days, mate.
You'll see it yourself. Must open so many doors for you as well. Like going to backstage at Transmit. Like,
That's the thing, mate. You didn't realise how many people actually like the podcast. So when you get a wee invite to come to stuff like this, and
Listen,
you can
mate.
do nice things, it's brilliant, mate. huh?
talk us through your outfit today then. What you wearing?
What do you mean, talk? It's fucking the best outfit here, innit? This shirt I got it the other day for a day. Had these for a while. Got these new as well. So.
You looking forward to seeing
I thought I'd be a trendy. I thought I'd be trendy at festival and what. Nah, in fact, is that Manifesto?
No.
You get them in Manifesto. You're looking alright.
Novestas,
But I honestly thought the VIP section that'd be a bit trendier, eh?
It's not right.
Pish. It's terrible, eh? I thought the club would be much better.
Right,
terrible.
tell us who your favourite podcast guest is.
My favourite podcast guest is. Oh fuck. Gary O'Connor, man.
Hilarious.
Love Gary O'Connor. Funny as
Class.
anything, mate. Just a normal
Brilliant.
scheme boy that's done quite well. And after with this, I'll get no bother. Are you part of the team here? Do you want to get an interview? Come here, jump in. Come on, jump in.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Erin.
Erin. What's your thoughts behind the outfit? Bum bag over the shoulder, it's quite London, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't put it around my waist because my dress will be at my arse, so...
That's what we're all
Aye,
wanting
that's
to.
what
We're all
it's
wanting to
like
see
here,
your
we're all
arse.
like that.
We're all wanting to see your arse.
I've never seen as many bums in my life.
See, when you walk past, he actually says to me, I'd pay you £100 to see her arse.
I didn't say that.
This is Lily, by the way.
Lily, how are you, pal? Come on in.
Jump in.
Jump in. You're looking great, pal.
Are you looking forward to
You're
seeing?
looking gorgeous.
You're looking forward to seeing
You
Lewis
like Lewis
Capaldi?
Capaldi?
Yeah.
What's your favourite song?
Someone You Love.
Wait a minute. You'd rather see Lewis Capaldi? Do you know what's open goal now?
We're both Rangers fans, sorry.
What does that mean?
I
Oh,
don't even
God.
know. I don't even...
You don't know what open goal is?
Sorry, I don't...
No, I'm not a footballer.
He tries.
I used to be terrible now, absolutely terrible now. But oi, open goal, start watching that. You'll love these Slaney, Paul Slaney's right up your street. He's similar to Lewis Capaldi, both nuggets. Right.
Top man, cheers.
Cheers, lads, thanks.
Thanks very much. Cheers. I am now joined by Cass G.
Hello.
And George Bowie.
Hello.
I actually think that these two are probably more famous than MD also spoke to.
I don't know about that. Famous in our own houses, maybe.
So tell us, right, why are you not playing?
Yeah, why am I not playing Jeff Ellis? I'm not going to lie, I tried to get in there, but I think I was a wee bit late. It was 3 weeks ago. So, because I heard that they had a Queen Tut stage, so I was like, oh, that would be ideal, because I think it's all female acts.
That's correct.
But yeah, they'd signed off all the acts, so possibly next year, I don't know, we'll have to...
George, you know what I find really interesting about your job, right? You do the breakfast show in the morning, and then you sleep all day,
Yeah,
and then you
come
party
out
all
at
night.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I go back to bed in the afternoon and just crash out and then go out and do the gigs and stuff. Absolutely.
Do you ever get fed up of it? Because you've been doing it for about how long?
Fed up getting up at 4:30 in the morning. That's not good for you. So I'll not do that forever. But it's good fun once you're up and you're working with Cassi and all that. It's a good laugh.
You've got a good team in there.
It must have been an absolute joy for you last night seeing Jerry Cinnamon on the main stage, and this might be me talking about out of tongue, but I believe that you're the reason Jerry's massive in Scotland.
Nah, I think Jerry was massive before us. The thrill for me last night was you could actually hear people singing the wee riff that we put in the remix, which wasn't in the original song. The wee da 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 da. That is not in the actual song, but the punters were still singing it. And Jerry must be sitting there going, "Where are you getting that from?"
He knows fine well.
Yeah, but he's been complimentary about the remix as well.
And have you got like a
relationship?
did
I've never met him. Never met him. I went to see him last night. I thought it was amazing. I think he's coming on the Breakfast Show in a couple of weeks, so it'll be interesting to see.
Do you know, it's interesting you say that, because I get the impression with Jerry Cinnamon, he's done everything that's against the norm, so he doesn't do any interviews.
Yeah, he never does interviews, so that's why I was really surprised when he said he's going to come on the show. But he's doing the Hydro, so he's got a lot of tickets to sell, so he wants to come on and do some press, and I'm glad he's chosen to speak to us.
You're telling me the only reason he's coming on is to sell tickets and not to talk to Cassi?
No, I was chuffed with that retweet of my gran. I don't know, on Twitter. Oh, it was brilliant. I mean, the thing is, George and I laughed because he got about 16,000 retweets, and then somebody actually tweeted me to say, "You stole Jerry Cinnamon's tweet," and I was like, "No, wait a minute, that's my granny."
So for those that are watching this that don't know what you're talking about, give us a bit of background.
Yeah, so I took this video of my gran basically as I walked away, and I thought it was quite a moment because I thought every granny in Glasgow always comes to the window when you're leaving, so I filmed it. So like, you know, that way I knew she was going to be there. I turned around, filmed it, put it on Twitter. It get like thousands of retweets. I thought, oh, it's on its way to being viral. Never had a viral tweet before. And then Jerry kind of quoted and retweeted it and said, you know what I mean, always be nice to your granny, I miss my own, I helped an old lady with her bags, and he said a kind of wee story with it. And I think he gets something like 16,000 likes. And I was like, that's mental. But yeah, I got accused of theft. I was like, no mate, that was...
Some guy said, you stole that off of Jerry Cinnamon. You're like, it's my gran, waving. But it was funny, because grans do that. They wave at the window every time just to make sure you're safe.
Totally. So you've told me before they come on that you have not seen anyone today.
No. I know, I just, do you know what it was? It was my granny's birthday the day, so I'd taken her out for a meal.
She was waving at the window, you were waving back all afternoon.
So we'd organised a wee birthday lunch in Shawlands, we went there, and I said, right, I'll come in later, and this is it, I've just got here, but I've not been to see anyone yet. I'd like to see Richard Ashcroft, but I think he's finished. I know. So yeah, is it Bastille tonight, isn't it? Yeah, so looking forward to seeing them. I like to come as well and obviously soak it up. I'm quite almost proud of this festival because it is in Glasgow. It's quite nice that we've got somewhere right in the doorstep. I can walk up the road, you know what I mean? So it's good, and George will probably tell you as well, he hardly gets a weekend off. So for him, you know, to come and just have a drink is like, this is bliss, isn't it?
Why are you not playing somewhere tonight?
Because I've taken the weekend off to come to Transmit. I very rarely drink, so it's just like, I'm going for it.
George,
and Gordon Duncan didn't have VIP passes, and he had to go up to them and say he was George Bowie.
Do you know what's really funny about that? As people know that there he is there. Right, yeah. Did you just claim you're George? Jump in. We've got the whole of Clyde in here. Get in.
Hi, Cass. Hello, hi. Good to see you. Good to see you.
I just had to go to the desk and say I was George Bowie, and she asked for ID.
So I'm not quite sure that you look as young as George.
I said the tickets are under George Bowie, and she said you got ID, and I said, well, that's not my name, so what's the point of an ID?
A little bit of background in here, because I'm just going to basically throw George under the bus. George only wanted you in here. The reason that he gave you the VIP bands was to pull you up because you didn't invite him to your wedding.
Right,
shade!
True story. On the way in, I just said to my mate, as soon as I walk in here, I'm going to say to George, thanks for the tickets, especially since I didn't invite you to my wedding. And that way I'll get in first and he won't be able to bring it up, and then you go and bring it up first.
No, actually before you arrived it was already brought up. George had steam coming out his ears, man.
Dolly's thunder, it's all good. But he's here now.
And interesting enough, George, right, Gordon had a DJ for the last hour of his wedding.
Did he? What was he playing?
It was a playlist, right? And it was a playlist for the last hour of your wedding. You had tunes playing. And who better would be playing tunes than this man?
Gordon Dale, maybe. Could have got him on to drop some tunes on.
Gordon can afford George.
Hugh Evans with his vinyl collection.
I would quite like to see like a back-to-back Hugh Evans, George Bowie special.
Let's do it. He's into the Bee Gees, isn't he? That's his favourite band.
Van Morrison. And what's Leonard Cohen? He's a big Leonard Cohen man.
Don't even know who that is.
Leonard Cohen and the GBX, I don't know if you've noticed that. No.
So right, see these folk always phone up and say, Georgie boy, he's a tune. What's your favourite tune to play?
normally one of the ones that I've been involved in, like she's a belter or bits and pieces, or a gambler or something that we've done. Do you know what I love? I love it when someone phones up and asks for a tune that I haven't heard for ages, and I thought, oh my God, I've forgotten about that. That's an absolute banger. I get a thrill out of that. Totally. But unfortunately, a lot of people phone and ask for the same stuff all the time, which is great because they're the popular tunes, but occasionally someone will phone up and ask for a wee nugget and you'll think, oh my God, I've forgotten about that tune. How good is it? And then I'll play it every week after that.
The Bits and Pieces is a strange one because it's almost like a West of Scotland anthem.
Well, it's the official Scottish anthem, isn't it? They play it when Scotland score a goal. That's why you don't hear it very often with the GBX.
But why Bits and Pieces? What do you think it is about that song that...
I think it just captured the imagination of everyone in Scotland. It's one of these things that we were doing the old school thing before anybody else, and that was an old school track. I mean, when it came out, it was big, and then it didn't become big again for about another 15 years. And then it was almost a throwback to that 90s era of TTF and Entrance, and Bits and Pieces was kind of like the iconic song from that era. Even though it wasn't that big at the time, it's really weird when that happens. When you get an old track that's just becomes massive, even though it wasn't that big first time around. It's strange.
Gordon, we were saying that this is Georgie's first weekend off in about a year. How long have you been off for, actually?
That's why I didn't invite him to the wedding, because I knew he'd be working. But anyway, right now, we're beyond that. I am now 7 weeks into the Super Scoreboard downtime, so 2 weeks.
Really?
2 weeks to go and I'll be back.
School teacher, isn't it? He's not a school teacher.
Yep.
Oh, it's all right. You work in the morning and you work at night. How much of a crossover is there? Like, how much do you see each other?
Oh, on a Wednesday, the content meeting, that's about.
And that's that, eh?
Drag me in early once a week and that's
Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
George,
for you guys.
We're coming out. Depending how Morton have got on, that impacts George's mood before he comes in. So we always a quick word about how Morton have got on, and then he's straight.
Back to Transmit, right?
Okay.
You've seen nobody.
No.
Not one
Just
person. The headline act right here, right here.
What do you make of these three blind mice?
Get them in the chemist. Lights pharmacy.
The last Polaroids.
You're the kind of glasses that you pick up.
The last Polaroids I had.
I'm just going to get some paracetamol. I'll pick up these specs as well.
Paracetamol, 3 condoms up. Pair of Polaroids.
3 condoms? How lucky are you?
Maybe a busy night.
3 condoms?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We'll see any works all weekend, eh?
Got a double bag it.
When it's that size, Georgie, for you, that's what happens, you know. Right, I think we'll maybe wrap this up.
Yeah,
On the fact that you've just heard that George Billy wears 3 condoms at once. Thanks very much, and we're going to see the rest of the act. Right, I've met somebody else that flosses their teeth with a mattress.
I've got
a big smile, man.
I've got actual cans stuck between my teeth today, man. I've been fucking drinking. Aye, how's it going? Is that?
Paul Doc, how are you?
Aye, decent fucking class weekend, man.
Are you here in VIP?
Aye, I've snuck in. I've got over the fence.
Talk to us about Twitter, right? Because the thing is, you are, in my opinion, absolutely hilarious. But see, the first time you put up a video, you're thinking nobody's going to find this funny.
I put up a few before it and fucking it off, so I was like, well, fucking whatever, man. Aye.
What's your favourite one?
Fuck knows. I think the grow up one fucking hit off and kids thought it was funny, so I was like, fuck it, whatever. Aye.
Amazing.
Good laugh, aye.
I was absolutely buckled the other day when you put that thing up with the mad fake teeth. Like, I've got them fixed.
We had to, aye, fucking. Oh, I know, I'm fucking ruining the illusion now, man. With these fucking ones.
Mate, I'm the same.
Aye.
I'm the same. Right, who have you seen today?
Ran to Sean McDonald.
Oh, bands?
Oh, fucking.
Aye, Sean McDonald.
Sean McDonald was on the main stage, aye.
We just spoke to Sean on this podcast 5 minutes ago. What bands have you seen today? Sean McDonald, mate, King Tuts.
Sean McDonald up in the King Tut stage, he's fucking getting whipped on stage. He had his tap off, and he fucking had the sunburn on and everything.
By the way, I wouldn't mind seeing him with his tap off. He's a handsome lad.
Just go on his Instagram, mate. Fucking, you see it all the time. No, fucking, I went to see Fontaines.
200 likes down.
Fontaines DC. I went to see them. Who the fuck else do you
Ashcroft, no?
Aye, we're Ashcroft as well, actually. We're at that, aye. We went to see DMA.
What's the script then? You still up Dundee?
No, I'm back in Glasgow, mate. Aye. I'm back in Glasgow.
Back in the motherland?
Back in, aye. I won't say the location, aye. Fucking, I'm back in Glasgow.
SMT's hunting them down. The fucking notorious. The notorious POD.
I've insulted too many people online, and I'm worried I'm gonna get fucking assaulted. Did
you ever worry about that? No.
No, fucking actual. I met a boy yesterday, right? Who was sound as fuck, and he was like, came on, he's like, I was getting ready to be online, and I was like, fucking, and he came over, took a photo of us, and he was like, fucking, he told me they couldn't have an actual mind who it was, or whatever, and I was chatting to him, sound as fuck, but,
because you don't make yourself scarce, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm out there, this is what I do, I'm in your face, if you don't like it, fuck you.
Every cunt sound about it, man. Nobody's actually that bothered about it. It's a fucking good laugh, man. I think every cunt gets it, man, so...
Tell me this, playing at Celtic Park.
Oh, that was fucking fun as fuck, man. That was classy.
How did that come about?
I know some of the boys that do some of the Magners and stuff like that.
I know some of the boys that do some of the Magners.
They have a couple of beers in there.
I know a few boys that do the Magners.
I'll tell you what, I missed a fucking sitter though, man, which you were there as well. He was there, I scored one.
Did you?
I scored one from about fucking like 3 yards out, fucking slid in.
There's only one George Cadetti.
Aye.
I don't even know why I said that, because it's absolutely out of context. Right, transmitter's probably now about 8 o'clock and it's time to sign off, right? Thanks, Paul.
Aye, thank you. Right guys, cheers. Bye.